Using mobility aids other than my wheelchair, like my walker or walking stick, absolutely makes my symptoms worse, but there is a reason that I don't use my wheelchair the majority of the time. It's because wheelchairs, frankly, are really fucking inconvenient. This world is designed exclusively for people who can walk without any assistance or any restrictions whatsoever. And now granted, accessibility is very slowly improving a tiny amount, but to this day, the more that you deviate from that expected norm of being able to walk perfectly fine, the more you're excluded from this world. So someone who has to use a walking stick or crutches faces far more inaccessibility and exclusion than someone who can walk without any mobility aid. Someone who has to use a walker faces far more inaccessibility and exclusion than someone who has to use a walking stick or crutches. And someone who has to use a wheelchair and cannot walk at all faces significantly more inaccessibility and exclusion than someone who can walk with a mobility aid. And so that means that those of us who are disabled really don't use a wheelchair unless we absolutely have to. Especially for disabled people like me who don't get any sort of help or support living with our disabilities. You know, we don't have anyone who can help access things or who can go into inaccessible areas on our behalf. If I can't access something independently, I just don't get to have it at all. And so I am really forced to go without a wheelchair, without the mobility aid that I really need for my symptoms, because otherwise I just can't access the things that I really need to live. I really should be using a wheelchair out of the house significantly more than I do, but doing that means not being able to access the majority of the world, so I have to go without, even if it makes me more unwell.